Craig, first week back with some of the lads. How's it to finally be back down here?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously a long break, and I think everyone's been itching to get back to some sort of normality and get back to training. We're still quite restricted in what we can and can't do, but yeah, I think everyone's happy to be getting back to some sort of training now.
Obviously it's the third day back for the lads today, and they're all back doing their testing today. Just talk us through the kind of tests they're going through with you and Matty.
Yeah, so again we're quite limited with what we can and can't do at the moment with gym usage and that, but in terms of having sort of a medical screen we're going through and just checking on their body fats, looking at a few different measurements as well to see how they've developed over the break, or to see if they've sort of lost anything in terms of muscle mass with what they've had access to and how they've been able to train, and getting some sort of low level strength scores as well. So again, it's all fairly low level, but just to sort of double check what state they've come back in.
Have you been surprised with the state they've come back in and the general fitness and general how they are after, I guess, 4 months of not being able to get in the gym and not being able to do some of this work?
Not really, no. I think in terms of a group and in terms of a club as well, obviously we were hoping we'd be back in the playoffs, so I think in terms of the support that the owners gave us and not furloughing people and allowing us to train from home to an extent, that we were expecting the lads to be in good condition. They've been able to obviously do a lot of running work, and I imagine for the majority of the squad it's the most running work they've ever done. Obviously been missing the ball side of stuff, the technical, tactical stuff, with having to work from home on their own. But in terms of fitness level wise, and again the group that we've got, we know we can trust them. We've been trying to track them as best we can away from the club using apps like Strava, so we have to keep an eye on what they've been doing. And largely during the time that we were not furloughed, we were able to prescribe and dictate a lot of what they've done. And to be fair to the lads, even the ones that have been off on furlough, seeing what they've been up to and keeping in touch with them, and yeah, they've been really professional throughout, really. Probably the gym work's a big thing they've missed out on.
Yeah.
Again, in terms of what the boys have got access to at home is quite limited, and I think when we first went into lockdown, in terms of access of gym equipment and purchasing that all went pretty quickly. But from an aerobic side of things and a general fitness and conditioning level, the lads that have come back this week are in really good shape, and as a staff we've been impressed with that.
So obviously you've been tracking them, so obviously you have to keep an eye on what they've been up to, what they've been doing. Yeah. Is there anything in particular you've been getting them to do? Any different? So like you said, some of them don't have the access to the gyms. Has it been a lot of body weight work, a lot of, like you said, a lot of running? Is that the kind of work they've been doing at home?
Yeah, largely to an extent. Again, we've got a few of the lads who've got access to different things. Again, a lot of the lads haven't got anything at home, so it's been largely sort of body weight stuff from a gym perspective. Some of the players loaned equipment from the club as well when we went into lockdown. So the boys have had access to that, have been able to do slightly different work. And in terms of the running stuff as well, most of the lads have got access to pitches or treadmills. We try to keep them off the road as much as possible, but for some of them it's not been possible. So running on those hard surfaces at the time's not been great, but yeah, they've had a lot of work to do. Like I said, obviously we were hoping to come back to the playoffs, so the lads were ticking over on what we could prescribe for them, what a normal week would look like from a conditioning point of view. So in terms of maintaining fitness levels has been good. And then probably in the last sort of month or so, when it's looked less likely we'll be back, and then when the season was confirmed as finished, they've been working through what would probably mirror a normal off-season anyway. So they've not had probably a lot of downtime. In terms of ticking over, they've had enough work to do. Like I said, from being able to sort of monitor from afar what they're doing and knowing the lads anyway, they're a trustworthy group. And yeah, I think this group this week has shown that the lads have been keeping on top of their work away from the club.
Can you give us a bit of an overview in terms of what the plan is going forward? Obviously, you've got the 10 of them back for these 2 weeks. Hopefully the first team are back week commencing the 20th. What's your kind of plan of action looking ahead to obviously a September as a potential season start date?
So for this group, in terms of what they've got this week, should be mirroring what the boys are doing away from the club. So from a physical point of view, they're all working off the same sort of spreadsheet really in terms of what running work they've got to do. The group this week obviously got the added bonus of coming and working with the gaffer and Kieran on the technical and tactical side of things, which again, if you sort of follow the social distancing at home, it's been difficult to do anything rather than probably keep your uppies in the back garden or passing against the wall really. So they've got that added benefit. Again, we're hoping to have some sort of confirmation of when the season will start, and we're hoping to have sort of around an 8-week pre-season. The lads will come back in and get moving in some sort of pre-season programme. We're quite conscious that it's been a long break away from football, so as much as obviously pre-season, the fitness side of things is very important. Again, with this group this week, we've been very conscious that what they've been missing for the last 4 months has been ball-based stuff, so we've obviously got a large focus on that. And again, we're a little bit up in the air with exactly what we'll be able to do with the testing protocols and restrictions that are in place at the moment. So again, it may be largely pitch-based at the moment, but as a staff, we're quite happy we've got a skeleton in place for what a pre-season would look like. We feel that last pre-season was quite successful in what we wanted to achieve and the way we went about it. So we've got a good sort of structure in place at the moment that we're hoping to be able to work from. But yeah, again, in terms of fitness work at the moment, the lads that are on site and the lads that are off site should have the same sort of work to do, or what we're recommending, while the rest of the boys are on furlough. And obviously they've got the benefit this week of those sort of development players to be able to work in with the coaching staff as well.
I guess finally, well, how do you think this kind of enforced break is going to impact next season? I mean, I know we were speaking earlier around, it's going to be very full on next year. There's going to be obviously a lot of games compact into a shorter schedule as normal. How do you think it's really going to impact the kind of performance and fitness levels of some of the players?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real one-off. I think in terms of the break that everyone's had, and then the condensed schedule that we'll be looking at. I mean, at the best of times in League One, it is pretty relentless anyway with the Saturday-Tuesday schedule, but I think that is going to be pretty condensed for 9 months. In terms of fitness-wise, again, I'd like to think that the lads will come back in good shape because of what they've been doing. So I don't think that will be a major issue. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very strange season in terms of probably all the squad are probably going to be needed all the way through to the development players. We'll have to be quite hot on how we're managing and monitoring players as well. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting season with the travelling that we could be doing as well on Tuesday nights to some far-flung places in the country. So it'll be a good challenge, but again, as a staff, we've sat down and sort of discussed the challenges that this might throw up. I think moving forward for future off-seasons, it's been a good sort of learning process for us, really. I think a lot of the time that players are packed off for the summer and you sort of give them a programme, and maybe it's sort of a bit of a see you in 7 weeks, but I think definitely from our point of view and from a fitness and medical side of things, it's been interesting to see how we can remotely monitor players, and if the players are not here, how we can sort of keep on top of what they're up to. So, but yeah, I think everyone's looking forward to coming back and cracking on, and I think all the demands that next season will bring, as much as it will be tough, everyone will be delighted just to be back to some sort of normality and to get playing football.